Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kauthar. If this is your very first time here, and I'm Nigeria's crochet queen. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make this cute oversized sweater. It is very easy to make. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel down below, and make sure you check the description box because I'm going to leave all helpful links down there for you. And there's also a written pattern for this sweater. You can check the description box as well for the link. I hope you enjoy making this sweater. It has a very nice stitch. It is a textured stitch. It's really nice. You can make it for yourself, you can make it for your loved ones. Don't forget to tag me on Instagram at hooked_on_Kauthar if you make this sweater, or just send me pictures. So the first thing we want to do in the making of this sweater is to sketch out what the sweater is going to look like. So I'm going to just sketch here. It's just going to be like a square. I'm going to sketch it out. I want it to have a V neckline. So this is going to be the front, and then I'm going to sketch out the back as well. I want the back to be a bit longer than the front in terms of length. So this is the back. By the way, I'm using this baby lamb yarn. I'm just using 2 strands of this yarn with a 6mm crochet hook, and I'm just going to get started now. To do the front of our sweater, we are going to chain 77. Just working my chains now. I'm going to chain 77. '74, '75, '76, '77. So I'm done with my chain of 77 now, and I'm now going to go on to row 1. To start my row 1, I go into the second chain from the hook. This is the very first chain from the hook, so I go into this second chain from the hook, and in the second chain I do a single crochet, chain 2, skip 2 chains, and then do a single crochet in the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains, and do a single crochet in the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains, and do a single crochet in the next. This is what I'm going to be doing until I get to the end of this row. Chain 2, skip 2 chains, and then do a single crochet in the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains, and do a single crochet in the next. Once I get to the end of this row, I'm going to show you guys my work, so just keep going. Chain 2, skip 2 chains, and do a single crochet. I finished row 1, the single crochet, chain 2 row. I've gotten to the end here, and I'm going to move on to row 2 now. For row 2, I chain 3, then I turn the work, and I'm now going to be put 2 more double crochets in this very first single crochet. 1, 2. So now I have 3 double crochets in this first single crochet. So all I'm going to be doing in this row is putting 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row. So this is the next single crochet. I put 3 double crochets here. This is the next single crochet. I put 3 double crochets here. This is the next single crochet. I put 3 double crochets here. So I'll be putting 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row. That is all I'm going to be doing till I get to the end of this row. So this is 1, 2, and then 3. So I'll continue doing this until I get to the end of the row, and I'll meet you guys back up. at the end of this row 2 now. I have one single crochet left, and I'm going to be doing my 3 double crochets in that last single crochet. 1, 2, and 3, and that brings me to the end of row 2. I've put 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row, and I'm done with the whole of row 2. I'm moving on to row 3 now. To get started, I'm going to chain 1. I chain 1, then I turn the work. Now I skip the very first double crochet. I'm going to be skipping this double crochet, and in the second double crochet I do a single crochet there. Single crochet. Once I'm done, I chain 2, and then I skip next 2 double crochets. I skip this one and this one. I skip this next 2 double crochets, and then in the next one I do a back post single crochet. And to do a back post single crochet, you just put your hook in from the back and then push that stitch out and do a single crochet there. So chain 2, skip 2 double crochets, do a back post single crochet, chain 2, skip 2 double crochets, do a back post single crochet in the next, chain 2, skip 2 double crochets, do a back post single crochet in the next. So this is what you are going to be doing until you get to the end of this row. Chain 2, skip 2 double crochets, do a back post single crochet in the next, chain 2, skip 2 double crochets, do a back post single crochet in the next, and I'm going to meet you guys back up when I'm approaching the end of this row. I'm almost at the end of this row 3. As you can see, I have just 2 double crochet clusters left, 1, 2. So I'm going to still chain 2, do my back post single crochet, then I chain 2, and for the very last, I chain 2, I skip 2 double crochets, and you notice I'm going to have just 1 double crochet left to work in because this is the last cluster. And for this last one, I'm not going to be doing a back post single crochet. I'm going to be working a regular single crochet in the top of the double crochet there. And that brings me to the end of row 3. Now for row 4, I'm going to chain 3 and turn the work. So here in row 4, I'm going to be repeating what I did in row 2, which is 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row. So I've done the chain 3, which counts as the first double crochet in this space. So I'm going to put 2 more double crochets here to make it 3. So now I have 3 double crochets in this very first single crochet, and that's what I'm going to be doing up until the end of this row. 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row. 2, 3, so I have 3 here, I have 3 here. I'm going to be putting 3 in this one, 3 double crochets. So basically 3 double crochets in each of these stitches. That's what I'm going to be doing. So just repeat row 2 and 3 until you get to where we're going to shape for the neckline. I'll let you know how many rows I do. I'll let you know how many rows I do before I start shaping the neckline. So just repeat rows 2 and 3 until you get to the point where we start shaping for the neckline, and I'll see you then, guys. So guys, this is the front panel of my sweater, and I have done 30 rows altogether. I've done 30 rows. Now I'm going to start working my neckline. Right, so to do the neckline, the very first thing I'm going to do is divide my project into 2 equal halves, and I'm going to do that by counting the total number of clusters I have. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So I have 26 clusters. It means that I need to have 13 on one side and 13 on the other side, and that's going to be the center. So let me just this is a stitch marker, that I'm going to use to mark it out. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I know this is the center of my work. So now I'm going to be working, remember that this is a V-neck sweater and this is the front, so I'm going to be working my V-neck on this side first, and then I'm going to work the other side. I'm going to do it side by side. So since this is where my yarn is now, I'm going to work this side first, and then we're going to work the second side. Now to get started, so we finished on a double crochet row. If you remember the pattern correctly, this is a double crochet row. Now we're moving to the single crochet chain 2 row. So chain 1, do my single crochet in the second double crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2. So I'm going to do this until I am almost at the center, just continuing the pattern as per usual. Chain 2, and then since we're now working in 2 parts, it's not like I'm going to be working this up until the end. This is going to be my last cluster, since I'm working this side first. So chain 2, and then I'm going to put the last single crochet. It's going to be a regular single crochet, not a back post single crochet. Now that this is done, I'm moving on to the next row. So I chain 3, so remember that for the pattern we are supposed to put 2 more double crochets here, so we have 3, but because I'm now working the creases, I'm just going to put 1 double crochet. So I have 2, then I keep working my 3 double crochets, 2, 3. So 3 double crochets in each single crochet up until the end. That's all I'm doing in this row. So I'm in the last single crochet now, and I'm going to put 3 double crochets there, then move on to the next row. To go to the next row, I chain 1, turn the work, then I put single crochet in the second double crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, up until the end. Now that I've come to the end, I just do my chain 2, I do a single crochet in the top of the double crochet. Now I chain 3 to come to the next row. I don't put any other double crochet here. I move on to the next single crochet and do my 3 double crochets. Three double crochets in each single crochet till the end. I've just come to the end of this row. So for the next row, I do my chain 1. The next row is a single crochet, chain 2 row. I put my single crochet in the double crochet from the previous row, chain 2, back post single crochet, chain 2, back post single crochet. Now that I'm approaching the end, I do my chain 2, and then in the second double crochet, now here at the top of the chain 3, I put another single crochet, but I didn't work the chain 2. So now I chain 1, and then chain 1, then do 3 double crochets in the single crochet, 3, up until the end, 3 double crochets in the single crochet. So I've come to the end. I chain 1 and move on to the next row, which is the single crochet row. Single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the double crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2. So I'm coming to the end. I chain 2, and then in the second double crochet I put a single crochet, chain 3 to come up to the next row, which is the double crochet row. Then I put 1 double crochet in that single crochet space, and 3 double crochets in the next single crochet space, and then 3 double crochets in each single crochet up until the end. So I go to the next row, which is a single crochet chain 2 row, chain 1, turn, single crochet in the next double crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2, up until the end. Okay, so now chain 2 and then do a single crochet in the top of the chain 3. So chain 3 to go to the next row, and then just start working 3 double crochets in the next single crochet up until the end of this row. 3 double crochets in the next single crochet, now to go to the next row, chain 1, single crochet in the next double crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2, up until the end. Now I don't chain 2 again. At the top of the chain 3 I just put another single crochet. Now I chain 1, come to the next row, and I just go straight to this row. I just go straight into this next single crochet and put 3 double crochets. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 3 double crochets in each single crochet till the end. I've come to the end of this row, so I chain 1, turn the work, and this is a single crochet chain 2 row. So you do that up until the end. Chain 2 and single crochet there. Now chain 3 to come to the next row, turn the work, put 1 double crochet in the single crochet to have 2. The next single crochet, do 3 double crochets. We are going to be putting 3 double crochets in each single crochet up until the end of the row. Okay, end of this row. To go to the next row, chain 1, single crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet. This is the single crochet, back loop single crochet, chain 2 row. So back loop single crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2. Now put single crochet at the top of the chain 3. Chain 3 to go to the next row. Then in the next single crochet space, I put 3 double crochets. I'm going to be putting 3 double crochets in each single crochet space from the previous row up until the end. Now that I've finished this row, this is the last row for this side. I'm going to fasten off my work. Chain 1. I fasten off, then I come and attach the yarn to the other side so I can start working on the other panel. So I finished the second part of my V-neck. This is the second part. This is the part we worked together. This is the part we worked together, and this is the second part now. So I am done with my front. I'm done with my front. I hope you can see this clearly. I'm done with the front. So the next thing I'm going to start working with the back panel. So I'm going to show you now how to get started with it. To get started, I'm working my chain. So I'm just working my chain. So I've just finished my chain I did 76 chains all together. I'm going to start working my first row now. I will do a single crochet in the second chain from the hook, chain 2, skip 2 chains, single crochet in the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains, single crochet in the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains, single crochet in the next, and this is all I'm going to do till the end of the row. Chain 2, skip 2, single crochet in the next. So guys, I've just finished my first row. This is the first row that I finished, and I'm going to go on to the second row now. To start the second row, I chain 3, turn the work, and then I add 2 more double crochets in that first single crochet. So I have 3 double crochets in the first single crochet. So I'm just going to be putting 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row. So this is 1, 2, 3. I go to the next single crochet, I put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. This is all I'm going to be doing. 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row. 1, 2, 3. Okay guys, so I finished the second row. Now I'm moving to the third row, and to do the third row, I chain 1, turn the work, and then I do single crochet in the second double crochet. Now I've just done single crochet in the second double crochet from the previous round. I'm now going to chain 2, and I'll do a back post single crochet in the second double crochet. I'm only going to be working in the second double crochet. I've just finished the back post single crochet. I've chained 2, then I do another back post single crochet. To work a back post single crochet, you bring your hook like this to do the back post single crochet. Chain 2, back post single crochet, chain 2, back post single crochet, chain 2, back post single crochet, chain 2. I would link a back post single crochet tutorial down below for you guys, so you can see it fully. So all I'm going to be doing in this row is chain 2 and the back post single crochet in the middle double crochet of the sets from the previous row. So I would meet you back up when I am done with this row. The end of row 3. So coming to row 4 now, I chain 3, turn the work, and now in this row I'm just going to be putting 3 double crochets in each of the single crochet from the previous row. So here, since I already did my chain 3, which counts as 1 double crochet, I'll just put 2 more double crochets in this first single crochet, and that is done. So I'll put 3 double crochets in this next single crochet, and that is what I'm going to do all the way across. I'll put 3 double crochets in each single crochet, 3 double crochets in each single crochet. Let me just do this one. This is a single crochet, so I'll put 3 double crochets in there. 2, 3. 3 double crochets in the next single crochet. So that's what I'm going to do all the way across, and I'll meet you back up at the end. We use the same pattern for the back. I just made my back longer than the front because I wanted my front to be slightly shorter, and then there was no shaping, there was no neck shaping at the back. So the back is just like a plain rectangle. So I started with the same number of chains, 77 chains, and then I worked the pattern and I kept repeating it for 54 rows. So now I'm going to join the front and the back together. And while joining, you need to make sure that the V's are going in the same direction. Like you can see that everything is facing up here, it's also facing up here. So I am going to join right side to right side. So hold the right sides of the work together. Just aligning the neckline. You join right side to right side so that your joining will be on the wrong side of the cloth when you're done. So, and we're going to be joining using slip stitches. Okay. Right side to right side. Right side to right side. So I'm going to count how many clusters I have here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10. Then I'll come here and count to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I start joining from, there's a double crochet. This is the 10th cluster and there's one double crochet here. So I start joining from the double crochet after the 10th cluster, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I start joining from here using a slip stitch. So I chain 1 and then I put my hook in this next double crochet. I've missed the stitch here, so I'm going to count again actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the stitch. I put it there. And then I work my slip stitch. And I'm going to be slip stitching into the top of the double crochets up until the end. Over here. So I'm going to be joining. Once I'm done joining this side, I'm going to join the other side, and we're then going to start working on the sleeves of this sweater. This is the shoulder part I'm joining. Just keep going. Make sure you don't miss any stitches so that your sweater can lay flat. Okay, so when you get to the end, just chain 1 and then fasten off your work. So to join the other side, I'm just getting the other side and I'm just setting it up, aligning everything. And then once I align it, I'm going to attach my yarn. This time around, I start joining from this edge inwards. So I just want to attach my yarn. Once I attach the yarn, I chain 1, then I hold it together and I start my slip stitch. I put my hook in the very first double crochet. I take the back, put it in the first, chain 3 that serves as the first double crochet as well, and then I start my slip stitches. So I'm going to be doing slip stitches the same thing I did on the previous side. I'm going to be doing it up until the end, and once I get to the end, I'm going to show you what I've done. But we're basically doing the same thing, so make sure you don't skip any stitches so that you don't have any bunching up. So I'll meet you back up at the end once I'm done with this. So guys, I've just finished joining this other side. This was the side we joined together at first, and I finished joining this side. So this is what it is looking like on the right side. You can see that everything is joined really nicely on the right side. Everything is joined here too. This is where you put your head in when you want to wear the sweater. So let's just move on to the sleeves, and then we're going to come back and finish the sweater. At this point, we're almost done. So to start with the sleeve, we're going to chain 29. So I'm chaining 29 right now. So 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So I'm going to work single crochet in the second chain from the hook, chain 2, skip 2 chains, single crochet in the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains, single crochet in the next, This is just the same pattern we've been working with. Chain 2, skip 2 chains, single crochet in the next. So I finished my row 1. If you're familiar with the pattern, then you can just keep working. We're going to keep working until we get to row 8, but if you want to still see me work the pattern, so go to row 2, I chain 3, turn the work, and I put 2 more double crochets in this very first single crochet. Then in the next single crochet I put 3 double crochets. So I'm going to be putting 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row. In the next single crochet I put 3 double crochets. So I'm approaching the end now. This is the last single crochet, and in here I'm going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and then 3, and I'm done with that. To go to row 3, I chain 1, turn the work, put a single crochet in the second double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 double crochets, then do a back post single crochet in the next, chain 2, skip 2 double crochets, back post single crochet, chain 2, skip 2 double crochets, back post single crochet. So basically doing this till the end of the row. Now this is the end. I just put a regular single crochet in the double crochet, the second double crochet, and then that's the end of that row. Then I'm going to row 4, I chain 3, then in the very first single crochet I put 2 more double crochets, so I have 3 double crochets in that space. Then in the next single crochet I put 3 double crochets. So I'm basically doing 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row. That's what I'm going to be doing until the end. So I'm doing the double crochets in the last single crochet now. 1, 2, and 3. I've just finished my row 4. So I'm going to be repeating row 3 and 4 up until row 8. So when you get to row 8, you come back here to meet me. So just repeat row 3 and row 4, row 3 and row 4, all that. And when you get to row 8, we meet back up so we can start increasing for the sleeves. So guys, I've just finished my row 8, and now we're going to move on to row 9. I finished the row 8 for the sleeve, and we're going to move on to row 9. So to start row 9, I chain 1, turn the work, single crochet in the very first double crochet, single crochet in the second double crochet, and then we'll continue working the pattern. Chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2. So you continue working this pattern until we get to the end of this row. Chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2. So now that I've come to the end, I do my chain 2, single crochet in the second double crochet, right, and then I do 1 more single crochet in the top of the chain 3 from the last row. So to move up to row 10, I chain 3, I do 1 double crochet in this first single crochet, and then I continue working my pattern, which is 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row until I get to the end. 1, 2, and then 3. So just keep working 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row until you get to the end of the work. Okay, so guys, I'm approaching the end now. I have 2 single crochets left, so I'm going to put 3 double crochets in the first single crochet as part of the pattern, and then in the last single crochet I put 2 double crochets. And now I go up to row 11. I chain 1, turn the work, chain 1, then I put single crochet in the very first double crochet. I put 2 single crochets in that very first double crochet. Then in the next double crochet I put 1 single crochet. Then I chain 2, I do a back loop single crochet in the next, and then I continue working my pattern, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2. Now that you're almost done, we have 3 double crochets left. I'm going to skip this DC, chain 2 and put single crochet. I chain 2, I'm skipping 1 double crochet, then I put 1 single crochet here and then 2 single crochets in the last double crochet, which is the chain 3 from the previous round. And now to go to the next row, I chain 3, turn the work. So I turn the work and then I do single crochet in the next double crochet in the next 2 single crochets from the previous row. So I have 3 sets, and then I put 3 double crochets in each of the single crochets from the previous row, just like we've been doing all along. 1, 2, 3. So you keep doing this until you get to the end of the row. So guys, I'm approaching the end now. This is I'm going to put 3 double crochets in this single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and then once I'm done with that, I put 3 double crochets in the last 3 single crochets. 2 and then 3, and we're done with this row. So to go on to row 13, we just finished row 12. To go to row 13, we chain 1, turn the work, and then we put a single crochet in the second double crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2. So you're basically going to be doing a chain 2, back loop single crochet up until you get to the end of this row. And then when I get to the end, I'm going to meet you guys back up. So I've just gotten to the end of this row. I'm doing the single crochet in the second double crochet from the last cluster. So I'm going on to row 14 now. Chain 3, turn the work. Now I do 3 double crochet, 2 more double crochets in the first single crochet to give me 3 double crochets there, and I'm going to be doing 3 double crochets in each single crochet across. So I'm going to be doing this up until the end of this row, 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row. So I've come to the last single crochet of this row, and I'm just going to put 3 double crochets in there. So I've just finished row 14. I'm moving on to row 15 now, and this will be an increase row. So I do a single crochet in the first double crochet, single crochet in the second double crochet, chain 2. Now I'm continuing the pattern as normal, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet until you get to the last double crochet clusters. Okay, so I've gotten to the last double crochet clusters. I chain 2, I do a single crochet in the second double crochet from that cluster and a single crochet in the last double crochet, and I go on to row 16. I chain 3. Okay, I will now put 1 double crochet in this first single crochet, then I start working my pattern, which is 3 double crochets in each of the single crochet from the previous row. I'm going to just do this till I get to the end. 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row. Okay, so now I've gotten to the last 2 single crochets. I put 3 double crochets in this first single crochet, and then in the last single crochet I put 2 double crochets. 1, 2, and then I move on to row 17. I chain 1, turn the work. Now for row 17, I put 2 single crochets in this first stitch, 2, 1 single crochet in this, then I start my pattern, which is chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2. So this is what I'm going to be doing until I get to the last sets of double crochet. This is the last complete set of double crochet. I put the back loop single crochet, then I chain 2, skip this double crochet. In this double crochet I put 1 single crochet, and in the last double crochet I put 2 single crochets, and that's the end of row 17. For row 18 I chain 3, turn, then I put 1 double crochet in the next single crochet, 1 double crochet in the next single crochet. So from here on I continue my pattern of 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row. 3 double crochets in the single crochets from the previous row. 3. So I'm just going to be doing this until I get to the last single crochets. Now I have 3 single crochets left, and I'm going to be putting 1 double crochet in each of them. 1, 2, and then 3. I'm done with row 18 now. So for row 19 is going to be a regular row. So I chain 1 single crochet in the second double crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet, chain 2, back loop single crochet. So just keep doing this until you get to the end. Now I've come to the last set of double crochets. I've chained 2, so I'm going to skip 2 and do my single crochet in this double crochet here. Then I chain 3 to begin row 20. So for this row, this is the double crochet row, so we're putting 3 double crochets in each single crochet, and this is my first double crochet. I put 1 more double crochet and then 1. So I have 3 double crochets in this row. I'm then going to continue putting 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row up until the end. So I've come to the end now, and in this last single crochet I'm going to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and that brings me to the end of the 20th row. So now repeat row 19 and 20 2 more times, so you have until you get to row 24. So you're going to be doing row 21, 22, 23, 24, and then we meet back up when we get to row 24. So I have just finished row 24 for the sleeves. This is from row 0 to row 24. I have row 24 now. Here's my row 24 that I've finished. So I'm going to be going on to row 25. Now to do row 25, I chain 1. I've already chained 1. Chain 1, turn the work, then do 1 single crochet in this very first double crochet, 1 single crochet in the next, chain 2, back post single crochet, chain 2, back post single crochet, and I'm basically going to do this until I get to the end. Chain 2, back post single crochet, and then I'll meet you back up at the end. I'm approaching the end now, so I'm going to do single crochet in the second double crochet as normal, and then in the very last double crochet, which is like the chain 3, I put 1 more single crochet. So like I have 2 single crochets instead of 1 because this is an increased row. So to go to row 26, I chain 3 and then turn, and then in the very first single crochet I put 1 more double crochet. So I have 2 in the beginning. It's also an increased row. Then I continue my pattern, which is 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row. So I'm just doing 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row, and I'll meet you back up when I'm at the end of this row. I am almost at the end of row 26 now. You'd see that I have just 2 single crochets left. Now in the next single crochet I'm going to do 3 double crochets, which is the same thing we've been doing all along. And in the very last single crochet I'll just put 2 double crochets, because don't forget that this is an increase row. Putting 2 stitches in one space is an increase. Now we're done with row 26. I'm moving on to row 27. For row 27, chain 1, turn the work, and then do 2 single crochets in the very first double crochet, because it is also an increase row. And then I put 1 single crochet in the next, and I start my pattern, which is chain 2, back post single crochet, chain 2, back post single crochet, chain 2, back post single crochet. I'm basically going to be doing chain 2, back post single crochet until I get to the end of this row, and I'm going to meet you guys back up when I'm done. I'm almost done with this row now, so I'm going to do my chain 2, single crochet in the double crochet from the last cluster, then I chain 2, I put 1 single crochet here, and then in the very last stitch I put 2 single crochets, and that concludes my increase row. Just finished row 27. For row 28, I chain 3, and then I just put a double crochet in the next single crochet, and then a double crochet in the next single crochet, and that gives me my 3 double crochets. So that's my first cluster, and from here on I just put 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row. 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row, and that's what I'm going to be doing till I get to the end of this row. 3 double crochets in each single crochet from the previous row. I'm doing the 3 double crochets in the next single crochet. I'm almost at the end. Now once I'm done, I have 3 single crochets left, and I'm just going to be putting 1 double crochet in each of those 3. So 1, 2, and then 3, and that brings me to the end of row 28. For row 29, I chain 1 and then turn the work, and I put my single crochet in this second double crochet. Like I'm skipping this first double crochet, and then in the second double crochet I put a single crochet, chain 2, back post single crochet, chain 2, back post single crochet until you get to the end of this row. To finish up the row, I'm going to chain 2 and then put a single crochet in the second double crochet from the last cluster, and that's the end of this row 29. Row 30, I chain 3. This is a double crochet cluster row. I chain 3, and then in the very first single crochet I'm going to be putting 2 more double crochets, so I have 3 double crochets there. 1, 2, so I already have my 3 double crochets in this first single crochet. I'm now going to be putting 3 double crochets in each single crochet till the end of the row. So just do 3 double crochets in each single crochet till you get to the end of this row. To finish up this row, I have 1 single crochet left, and in there I'm just going to be doing 3 double crochets to finish up my row 30. And I have just finished row 30. The texture of this stitch is so beautiful, guys. So from here we're going to be repeating rows. I'm going to leave the rows you are going to repeat on the screen, because if I decide to finish everything with you guys, the video is going to be so long. So we're going to repeat. I'm going to leave it on the screen. You're going to be repeating from row 25 to 30, and I'll leave the repeat sequence for you on the screen so you can just follow along with that. And then once we're done with the sleeve, I'm going to meet you back up so we can start sewing the sides together. I've just finished row 42 on my sleeve, so I'm done working the sleeve from the bottom up till the top, and I did 42 rows in total. And what we're going to do next is to sew the sleeves, sew the sides of the sleeves together, you know, so it's not going to be open like this. This is the full sleeve, so we sew it together. And to start sewing together, see, I didn't fasten off yet. This is my working yarn, so, and this is the yarn I'm going to use in sewing the two sides together. So what I'm going to do now is to turn the sleeve. I'm going to fold it in two. And don't forget, like I told you, if you're joining sides in crochet, you want to be joining right side to right side, except you want your seam to be on the outside of the cloth. So this is the right side of this pattern. Of course, the right side is the part with the texture, right? And this is the wrong side. So we're going to be folding it over on the right side. Just make sure everything is straight and each row is connecting well. So once you're done folding it over like this, we're going to start slip stitching the same way we joined the shoulder. That's what we're going to do. So I'm now just going to put my hook here at the top. I just want to get out my yarn. Okay, so this is how we're going to be slip stitching until we get to the end. So just put your hook in the front, right? That's the panel facing you, and then at the back. So just put your hook through both of them and then do a slip stitch. That's basically what we're going to be doing. Put your hook through the front and back and then work a slip stitch. Make sure your slip stitches are not too tight so that the seam will not be bunched up. Also, make sure you are going into each row and you are not skipping any rows. So when you go into row 1 in front, make sure you are going into row 1 at the back. Just make sure everything is aligning very well. So just keep doing that. Slip stitch until you get to the end. That's what we're going to be doing until we get to the end. So I will just continue this. Just keep putting your hook in front and then at the back to join it. You're doing slip. So I've just finished joining the sleeves and I now have a proper sleeve sole joined. I'm just going to flip it to the right side now so you guys can see. Remember, this is the wrong side. The seam is going to be on the inside. That's the wrong side of the sweater and not on the right side. So this is the seam. And this is the right side. Looking good with the texture and everything. See, it's all joined. This is where we joined it. See how it is seamless and smooth here? That's why you need to make sure your seam is on the inside so you don't have this part looking ugly. Now that we're done with this sleeve, you're going to go ahead and make the second sleeve. So you do 2 of this. You can rewind to see the sleeve pattern all over again. So you just follow that to make the second sleeve. And once we're done making the second sleeve, we're then going to join the sleeves to the body of the sweater, and that will be the next thing to do. We're almost done at this point. So remember that we already joined the shoulder of our sweater before now. We joined the shoulder, so the shoulder is joined. What we want to join now is the side. And this is also the side where we're going to be joining the sleeves too. like each of the sleeve. This side, the sides are still open, the sides of the sweater are still open from the neckline all the way down. So we're going to be joining the sides and attaching the sleeves to this sweater. We're going to be joining the same way we joined the shoulder and the sleeve, joining with slip stitches. So what you want to do is first match the back up with the front. Remember that we made our front smaller than the back, so just make sure that the number of rows you have in front, you're matching it up with the number here at the bottom, at the back, so that what you have left is going to be even on each side. So I'm just going to count again how many rows I have in front, and then count that number of rows at the back and put a stitch marker there. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I have 23 rows here in front, so I'm going to count 23 rows at the back, and then that's where I'll start joining. So this is the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So this is the part that matches up. Don't forget that whenever you're joining, you want to be joining right side to right side, so that your seam will be on the wrong side of the piece. So I'm starting my joining from row 23 to row 23. Here we go. So I'm going to attach my yarn and start working the slip stitches now, the same way we did for the shoulder and then the sleeve. Chain 1. So just keep doing the slip stitches. Make sure that your front and the back, both of them are properly aligned, and don't make your stitches too tight so that your seam doesn't bunch up. So whenever you put your hook in the front, you go into the corresponding row or stitch at the back. Just make sure everything is aligned, and that is all I'm going to be doing. But I won't be getting to the end. Remember that we're also joining the sleeve, so I'm just going to keep working up until like maybe the middle of this to see when I'm going to start joining my sleeve. I'm just going to keep at this. Just continuing the slip stitches, just continuing till I get to like the middle. Okay guys, so you notice that I've almost come to the end, to the top, right? So what I'm going to do now is put my sleeve in, because this is the space where the sleeve is supposed to go into. So I'm going to put my sleeve. I'm putting my sleeve, the right side is what I'm putting in, because remember you want to be joining right side to right side. And I'm also matching up the parts that we joined here. I'm going to be matching it up. This is the parts that we joined. I'm going to be matching it up that the parts that we've been joining here. So I'm just going to put my sleeve inside this now. So I'm just putting the sleeve in, and then I'll be matching up the sides I want to join. Okay, so as you can see, the sleeve will take up from here at the beginning. The sleeve will take up from here to here. So we still have a few more rows to join before we now start attaching the sleeves. But I'm going to leave the sleeve inside there so I don't over join. And then I continue joining the sides. So I continue joining the sides up until here. Then once I get here, I pick up the sleeve and start joining it into the sides. Okay guys, so you can see that I'm there now. So I'm now going to start joining. I won't be joining just the sides anymore, because if you join this side and it's closed, your hand will not be able to come out of the sleeve, because you've already joined the part where your hand is supposed to come through. So what I'm going to do now is I pick the sweater up with the sleeve. This is what I'm going to be joining. I'll be joining here, which is the body of the sweater, with the tip of the sleeve here. So I'm going to be joining these two. So I'll continue joining using slip stitches. I've just picked up the sleeve, so I'm no more joining just the sides of the sweater. I'm now joining the side of the sweater to the sleeve, and I'm just joining using slip stitches like we've been doing. So just continue that all the way around. So guys, just continue doing this until you get, like, you walk all the way around and then you get here. So we're going to meet back when I get here. I'm done joining now, like everything is joined all round. So what I'm going to do is turn the piece, like, you remember the sleeve is still inside. I'm just going to bring it out, but everything is completely joined. So this is the seam and this is the wrong side of the clothes. This side is going to be inside when you wear it, not the one that will be outside. Once you are done with this, you want to go and do the same for the second side of the sweater. Join the second side of the sweater and then attach the sleeves. I've actually done that already. So this is my second side. You're doing exactly the same thing. So you can rewind to see, but we're just done. I'm done joining everything. So I'm just going to flip the sweater inside out now, or right side out. I've just flipped the sweater right side out. So this is the right side. This is the part that will be outside when you wear it. This is the sleeve. This is the body. So you can see that everything is neat on the outside. There are no seams. This is the shoulder. Everything is looking neat, looking pretty. The other shoulder, the other sleeve. Everything is looking good. So if you try out this sweater, make sure to tag me in your pictures or send them to me on Instagram. I'd really love to see. And remember, we made the back longer than the front, which is a nice detail, but yours can be the same length. You can also make yours cropped. Doesn't have to be this long, but this is how I like mine. And then the V-neck, it's right there. This is just a very easy sweater to make, and I hope you guys make it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.